Hey, hope you're having an incredible day. In this video, I've connected this form directly with Retell and GoHighLevel so you can check availability and book meetings directly into your calendar and have the ability to follow up with clients immediately after they fill out your form. So this agent will not only qualify you by asking you the qualifying questions, but it can answer any questions on your business. And so we're going to fill out this form right now, and we should receive a call shortly. And I'll show you exactly how this works. Okay, so we just press submit right now. And literally within 5 seconds, I received this call. So I'm going to answer it and you can hear it. Yeah.
Awesome. So Kevin, could you tell me a little about what you offer?
So we're an e-com store and we sell shoes online.
Oh, nice. Shoes are always in demand. Everyone needs a good pair, right? What are you looking to automate in your business? Like customer inquiries, scheduling, or something else?
Yeah, like ideally customer support. Right now we're having trouble handling all the customer support. We're getting a ton of inbound calls and we don't really know what to do.
That's awesome, Kevin. Sounds like things are really picking up for you. One last question. Are you open to investing in tools or solutions to help streamline your customer support and grow even more?
Yeah, definitely.
Kevin, I think we can definitely help you out. Let's set up a quick 30-minute call with one of our team members this week to dive deeper. What day and time works best for you?
Could we do Monday at 2 p.m.?
Let me check the availability for you. It looks like 2 p.m. on Monday is already booked, but we do have 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. available that day. Do either of those work for you?
Yeah, why don't we go with 10:30 a.m.?
Great choice. Let me lock in 10:30 a.m. for you. One sec. All set, Kevin. Your call is booked for Monday, March 10th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Looking forward to seeing how we can help your business grow. Let me know if you need anything else.
No, that's it. Thank you all for all your help.
You're so welcome. It was great chatting with you. Have an awesome day, and we'll talk soon.
And you can see it checked the availability. It now booked the meeting, and I actually received a meeting link literally directly after this. I know it's hard to see my screen, but right there you can see that the meeting was successfully booked. So guys, it's incredibly powerful. And this is a fully automated system. So what happened was the form was filled out, survey was submitted right here. This triggers our webhook, which is going to create the call to Retell. So it hits this webhook, then we're sending a call request to Retell agent is activated. You can see it asks the qualifying questions. After it asked the qualifying questions, it went ahead, because I was willing to invest, I met the qualification criteria. It went to book an appointment with me. So then we have an AI agent, which is checking my calendar connected directly to GoHighLevel. And once it saw that, well, first I asked it for 2 p.m. because I am booked at 2 p.m. It proposed 2 other times close to that time. And once it found a time that worked, it went ahead and booked this directly into GoHighLevel. So it's extremely powerful. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to build this out completely from scratch. And with that being said, let's dive right in. Now, I will be sharing this agent as well with the different webhooks inside No Code Nation. We're almost at 800 members now, right here in the classroom. So all you have to do is really just come into Retell and click on import, and you can drag and drop your file right here to get started. Okay, guys. So first and foremost, we're going to have to come into sites. We're going to be creating a survey. So create a survey. I just made a really simple one right here. You can see first name, last name, email, and then you can hit submit, or first name, last name, email, phone. You can go ahead, hit save. From there, we're going to go into sites. So I created this funnel, Retell outbound survey, and I just added the survey directly to my landing page. Now, once that is all set up, if you come into automation, we are going to create a new workflow. I called mine new lead to Retell. The trigger is going to be survey submitted, and the survey is going to be target dial survey. So that's what we just went ahead. And then we're going to add a webhook after. So the method is going to be post. Now let's go ahead. We're going to be creating our first scenario. So add in a webhook. We're going to grab the production URL. It's going to be a post method, and we're going to paste that in right here in the URL. Now you can see I have a bunch of custom data. So we're going to need the first name. The to number is actually the number of the contact that we're making the call to. So make sure you put contact phone raw. Now AI actually doesn't know the current time and date. So we need to pass that so that it knows what the now time and the now date are in order to successfully make these bookings. The from number is actually going to be the number in Retell of our agent. So you would just go to phone numbers and choose that phone number. You can paste it in right here. And then we're also going to need the agent ID, which you can grab right here. So you copy that, paste it in here. And then the contact ID is the contact ID of the person. So once again, you can just choose contact ID. And why do we need that? Because we need to know when we're making our booking request in GoHighLevel, who the contact is that we're making that booking for. Lastly, we need to add in a header, which is going to be authorization bearer, and then your API key. So in order to get your API key, you're going to go to settings. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see this API key. So copy that API key. Then we're going to head back to that automation, paste it in right here. So now that we've done that, what we can do is actually click on listen for test event, and we're going to go run test. And if that doesn't work for you guys, you can also just fill out your form, which will trigger this automation. Then you'll get data populated in here, just like this. So once you have that data populated in here, we're going to pin that. And if you scroll down on the bottom under custom data, you can see all the fields that we're going to need. Next, we're going to be creating our phone call request or outbound phone call. You can see under the API reference for create phone call, you can just go ahead and copy this, and we're going to paste it in right here. So guys, we're going to come into here into HTTP request. If you look at the create phone call under the API reference in Retell, you can just copy this to clipboard. We're going to head in here. We're going to paste in that URL. Then we'll have to turn on headers. So click on send headers. The first header we are going to need is going to be authorization bearer. And then we're going to need our API token. So you can head into Retell, click on API keys right here and copy that. Then you're going to paste that in. The next thing we are going to need is content type application JSON. So that's the second header. And then we're going to specify the body using JSON, and then click on expression. And you can see right here that we're passing the from number, the to number, the override agent, and then all of the dynamic variables that we're getting from this webhook in order to make this call. So I'm passing the first name, the now time, the now date, the contact ID, and the to number, which is our phone number. Now, if you wanted to test this step, you could click on test step. And if everything's working properly, you should get a phone call. So that's the first major step complete, right? Someone goes, they submit a form, it flows through our automation, it triggers this webhook, which hits Retell, which hits N8N, and then that HTTP request is triggering our voice agent to make that outbound call. So we're going to come into Retell, we're going to click on our agent, and we're going to go add under functions, and it's going to be a custom function. Now you're going to name that custom function check availability. The description, we're going to use this to check the availability. And now in our webhook, we're going to paste in our webhook right here. So we're going to click on the production URL. We're going to copy that to clipboard, head into Retell. We're going to paste in our URL here. And you can see right here, this is our parameters. So literally all I did was their sample examples. I took one of these sample examples, I ran it through ChatGPT, and I said, we need to get the start date. And why do we have it start date written like this? If you look at the get free slots in GoHighLevel, you can see that one of the things that we need is the start date. So you can see this line of code right here. We're essentially saying start date. We need the requested time in ISO 8601 format, and what is required, the start date. So when it goes to check the availability, it's going to say, let me check the availability for you. And that's pretty much it. So we can save that. Now we're going to need to get some data through here. So what you can do is go listen for test event, click on listen for test event. We'll copy this test URL for now. So just go ahead and replace that in check availability. You can hit update just like so. And now you can actually come into test your LLM. Now guys, I've added a couple of different dynamic variables here just so that this works properly. So all of the dynamic variables that we're passing from the previous steps, I just went ahead and added it in right here by clicking on this. We hit save, and then we're going to test our flow. So I just said, yeah, I'd like to book an appointment. Okay, so now it's going to say, let me know a day and time that works for you. So I said 2 p.m. on Monday. And in a second, we'll see our check availability tool fire. So you can see how it's come through. The start date, it's checking availability. And if we go into check availability, now you'll see that we got a successful output. And we're just going to go ahead and pin that data so we can use it in the next step. Now, I went ahead and created this code. Once again, I ran it through ChatGPT. So guys, you can just pause the video and copy this. But if you look at the get free slots API, you can see that there's this random string of numbers. And what this is Unix timestamp. So it's the time since January 1970 in milliseconds. So we need both the start date and the end date in this specific format. And then we're going to add our AI agent. We're going to have the end date just like so. And then in our system message, we're just providing it with the role, and the tool is saying use this check availability to check the calendar. Now, We're going to add our chat model. It's going to be OpenAI. I'm using 4.0 mini here. We're going to add the window buffer memory. So what I did is I went define below, and then I grabbed the start date from the webhook at the start. So to get access to these variables, all you'd have to do, just scroll down to the bottom under arguments. You can see start date right here. So all I did was I dragged it into the previous module, just like that. And then I went and I copied that and pasted it into the Windows buffer memory right here. Now from there, we are going to add our check availability tool. So you click on plus on tools and it's the HTTP request tool. And it's going to be a get method because we're getting all of the free slots. We are going to need the calendar ID right here. So how do you get this calendar ID? You're going to go into GoHighLevel, into calendars, into settings, and then just copy that calendar ID. And then we're going to paste it in right here. Now we're also going to need to send some query parameters. So both the start date and the end date, those we're going to be passing dynamically. So click on expression and we're going to be pasting them in from the previous step. So the start date and the end date. Once we have that, we're also going to need to send headers. So the value is going to be bearer, and then we're going to need to grab the API key. So this isn't the normal API key. You actually have to come down here into private integrations. Click on create new integration. You're going to enter your name and it's going to give you a private integration API token. And then you're just going to paste that in right here. We're also going to need version history. So version, and then the value is going to be 2021-04-15. Once we have that, guys, the last step is a respond to webhook. It is going to be text. The response body is going to be that JSON output that we're going to get from the previous step. Make sure this is on expression. And so now that we have this data pinned in the code, we can go ahead and test this step too to make sure it works. You can see the node was executed successfully, and then it will provide a response. So now we've successfully created the check availability section. And then lastly, we're going to have to do the book meeting portion. So what I actually did is I just cloned my check availability because it's almost the exact same minus this code node. So I cloned it. Then we are going to grab the test URL once again. So you can click on listen for test event, click to copy that to your clipboard. Now we're going to create our second function. This is going to be the book meeting function. We can paste it into the URL right here. And in terms of the parameters that we're going to need for this step, we need the contact ID and the start time. Because if we look at our calendar events for creating an appointment, it is going to be a post request to this specific URL. And you'll see that we need the calendar ID, the location ID, the contact ID, and the start time in order to create that booking, as well as the authorization and the version in the headers. So you can just paste that URL in my parameters. All I said that was required was the contact ID and the start time. You can hit update. There we go. Now we have the book meeting set up. And so now we just need to get some tests in here. We need to fire this book meeting. So can you book for Monday at 2 p.m., which is going to fire the book meeting tool. There we go. And if we click into book meeting, you can now see that we got all of this data with the contact ID and the start time, the two values that we need. So we can go ahead, we can pin this. And now in our AI agent, the prompt, the user message is just going to be start time and contact ID. We're going to put this on expression so we can pass those variables dynamically. And then contact ID and start time, I just went ahead and dragged them in. So if you look at the start time, you can see it's in a different format than the get free slots or the check availability. So it is in ISO format with the time zone. So just add into your book meeting prompt to specify the time zone that you're in. So if you look at the requests that came through, you can see that it's in this specific format. So we'll say take this UTC format and add, the Eastern Standard Time, if that's your time zone. So it would add +5 or -5. Now we're going to grab the URL from the create appointment section. So we'll copy this, paste it in right here. Now you will get something like this. So we're going to name it book appointment. It's going to be a post method. The URL we are going to grab from the create appointment API docs in GoHighLevel. So go ahead, paste that in, guys. The headers we're going to turn on, and it's the same as the check availability. So we need the authorization bearer, the same private integration token that we just created, as well as version equal to 2021-04-15. Now you'll have to turn on send body, and we are going to add in a few body parameters. So one is going to be the calendar ID. So we can grab that from our last step. The location ID is going to come from, if you click into GoHighLevel after location, this is your location ID right there. So copy that location ID, drop it in right here. And then we're going to need the contact ID. which we can copy and paste from one of the previous steps, like I showed you. And then we'll also need the start time, and we're just going to say that that value is going to be provided by our AI agent model. Lastly, we need the respond to webhook portion. So we're going to choose text. You can just type out this JSON output because it's going to come from our AI agent. And once all of that is done, the last thing that we have to do is grab this production URL webhook, change it in the book meeting pool in Retell. And now once that is set up, we can hit save. And now you have the ability to check availability. We have the ability to book that meeting afterwards, and everything is fully live. So go ahead, turn on all your automations and hop into your website, fill out your information right here, hit submit, and everything should now fire. You'll receive a call like I am right now, and you should be able to walk through all of the steps, and it should check your calendar and book the meeting. So this is extremely powerful. If you did get value out of this, highly appreciate dropping a subscribe. It's free, helps support the channel, and allows me to keep making videos like this for you. And feel free to join the No Code Nation. We're a very active community, 786 members. And with that being said, hope you have an incredible rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.